Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to play kind of a forgotten tank. Yes, it's a tech tree tank, but I haven't played this tank for absolutely years and years, because I've never really needed to. It's kind of fallen down the pecking order when it comes to tank destroyers in tier 9, because there are so many good tank destroyers in tier 9. I mean, let's just have a look how many good tank destroyers there are in tier 9, and then we'll have a look just where the Object 704 stands within them. So of course we have the Ritter, great. The T95, which is actually a fun tank to play. T30, amazing. Tiger, okay, not fun, but the DPM is crazy. The Waffle, one of the best. The SU-122, not great, but the DPM is the highest in the game. And then, of course, the Object 704. The Conway, it's got Hesh, it's amazing. DPM is crazy. The Tortoise, again, DPM is crazy. And then these kind of are the forgotten four tanks that no one really plays too much. The Foch was a great tank until Wargaming decided to nerf the thing. But yeah, I mean, Object 704 does kind of fall down that pecking order, and it's not one of those tank destroyers I'd choose to go and play in tier 9 if I had the choice. I mean, obviously I do play tier 9 and I do play tank destroyers, but I never ever think of playing the Object 704. So we're going to get into some games, we're going to look at the stats, and then we're going to see where you guys fit in with the Object 704. So the stat wise, you've got no armor really at 125. You can get your troll bounce, but you know, you can't rely on the armor on this tank. DPM 2835. Now that is, I think, on the little low side, considering we're running with the rammer as well. You want to be around the 3k mark if you want to compete with all the other tank destroyers in tier 9. So yeah, I mean, 2,800, probably 2,600 if you run the calibrated shells. So not great when it comes to damage per minute. That's almost a 14-second reload, 13.5-second reload. So yes, it's a long reload. Your penetration is 286, which is decent for considering we are running the rammer and not calibrated shells. And your APCR is 329. So yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. Not too bad. You could get higher, I suppose, but considering it's got APCR, I don't see the point really running the calibrated shells. 90 HE pen though, which is decent, so you could get that almost around about 100, just over, if you do run their calibrated shells. So you do have a 640 alpha, 545 on your APCR, and a very nice 960 on your HE. Aim time not great at 4.7. Gun dispersion, yeah, kind of meh at 0.369. And of course it does only have 6 degrees of gun depression with a top speed of 37 kilometers per hour. So yeah, it's, I mean, I did go and play it. You can have fun, I'm not going to lie, you can have fun on it, but, you know, you want to come up against tier 8s. You can hold your own, you can get damage if you do come up against tier 10, but really you do want to come up against tier 8s in this tank, where all the other tank destroyers, you don't really care if you are bottom tier. Like the Waffle, like you can hold your own again in the Waffle. The Tortoise, anything like that. Yes, it doesn't have the armor, but it has DPM and it has the penetration to deal with anything. And where I'm talking about troll armor, I mean, look at that. That was a stupid shot, but I am going to get a couple of bounces this game where I'm thinking, okay, that was pretty lucky. So yeah, you can get bounces on the armor, but you really don't rely on that armor. If you rely on the armor, then you're just going to get yourself absolutely torn apart. So I do get a bit greedy here, trying to go up for the Chimera as I back up 240, 640. So I managed to bounce 880 right there. Like, that would put me down almost to a one shot to the T30, 2 shot maybe to the Chimera, and that kind of scared me a little bit, because I don't want to go forward no more, because I don't know who's actually looking. So I'm just going to wait a little bit. And then I'm going to seize my chance to go for that Chimera, back up whilst I know no one's looking. And whilst I know no one's looking, I'm like, okay, do you know what? There's a Motion down there that is originally had his back to me. So now's the time to sort of push forward. I do have the backup of my team, so it's not too bad. And I do get a nice shot into that guy. So that Motion is in all sorts of trouble. He's not in the greatest of positions, and he can get taken out very, very easily. So we've only done 1800 damage at the minute. Of course, we do want to back up because we don't want to get shot, and we can't quite get our shot into the guy. So I'm going to push forward. Can I get the shot? Am I going to hit? Yes, I can. And then the Chieftain. I'm not too worried about this Chieftain. I know he has decent DPM, but he does sort of, he's got low alpha, so I'm not too worried if I do lose a little bit of hit points against him, considering there's only 3 tanks left alive. So leave him on 5 hit points. Just try and go in for the love tap. I do manage to get the kill. So that's 3k damage. I mean, not overly good. That is all I'm going to get pretty much this game. But yeah, you know, you can get the damage. It's not too difficult to get the damage. But the difference between probably why I don't enjoy the Object 704 as much as the other tanks is the Object 704 is more of a tank destroyer. You know, you got the other tank destroyers out there that is not so much a tank destroyer no more, because tank destroyers seem to be changing in the game, because they're, you know, look at the E3, for example. You know, it's a tank destroyer, but you don't play it like a tank destroyer. The same as the E4. Yes, they are tank destroyers, but if you sit at the back of the map in these tanks, you're doing it wrong. However, with the Object 704, it is one of those sit at the back of the map kind of tanks. So if you push forward, then you're going to just get absolutely ripped apart. You're slow, you don't have the gun depression, you haven't got the turret. So yeah, you will struggle if you do sort of push forward with this tank. Now, again, with the armor profile, even this game, we have managed to block 930, so it's still pretty decent. So I'm just going to push forward now, try and get the bounce from this J Panther. Even if I don't, then it's not the end of the world, because I am going to reload before him. But to be fair, I should have been a little bit more patient, because there is a T-77 coming from behind. And at this point, I'm going very, very slow. I think my driver's injured, and look how slow I'm actually going. But it's a 3 versus 2. As long as I can get at least one more shot into this guy, then I'll be happy. I've got 4k, you know, not the end of the world. And you can see him trying to bait there. One shot. Am I going to get the shot? Nah, of course I'm not. Of course I'm not. Never happens, and I do sadly die. But we do go on to win the game. So 4k, we've done it very, very easily. So that is my say in the Object 704. It's not the worst tank, but it's definitely falling down the pecking order when it comes to tank destroyers in tier 9. Let me know in the comments below whether you feel the same. Do you feel that the Object 704 has fallen down the pecking order and it's just not the same anymore due to the nature of the tank destroyers in general, how they're played? Because this is like an old school tank destroyer. Sit at the back of the map, farm from afar, and then sort of move in a bit later on. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye-bye.